Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. America's pastime is a sport for all ages. The Reconstruction era dawns in Boston as the Red Sox undergo a successful transformation from the Middle Ages to the modern heyday of youth. The Padres signaled the end of the Great Depression as two stars of the 80s bring on a new trend and usher San Diego into the Age of Enlightenment. The Age of Flowers promises peace and understanding, but has a strange and mystical effect on major leaguers who seem to abandon all sense of reason. The golden age of Hollywood comes to the ballpark with this summer's rash of hits. Be it new wave, epic drama, or classic adventure, we've got the picture for one and all, coming right up next on This Week in Baseball. Now, in our second decade.
I like This Week in Baseball because I can catch up on all the action. I can see the past week's highlights and every now and then catch a great play. And, you know, when you're playing baseball, you don't get a chance to see every game, but when you watch This Week in Baseball, you can catch up and see all the action.
Fire and fury from the Brewers Igniter. For Milwaukee's Paul Molitor, life has been a dream of late. When he hit in his 34th straight game, it was the longest in the majors since Pete Rose hit in 44 straight in 1978. Question is, how to handle the pressure.
The real pressure that I was feeling came from the Brewer team record of 24, and they made a pretty big deal about that in Milwaukee. So once I was able to overcome that, you know, I felt a lot of pressure removed. In the last few days, I feel like I've been somewhat back to normal.
Before Molitor, Ken Landreau compiled the major's longest streak of the decade. In 1980 with the Twins, he hit in 31 straight games, one better than George Brett that same year. Molitor says he doesn't care as much about extending his streak as he does about staying healthy, a tall order considering he's been hurt every season but one.
I used to set personal goals, but because of the injuries I've had in the past, I've learned now that it's a matter of trying to just keep yourself healthy day in and day out. And if you manage to stay out there and play 145 or 150 games, the numbers will take care of themselves.
Case in point, in Game 1 of the 1982 World Series, Paul Molitor went 5 for 5.
You know, when you look back on your career, the highlight as a team will be playing in a World Series. And from a personal standpoint, probably one of my most memorable moments will be that first game in the 1982 World Series where I was able to get 5 hits. And right now it does stand as a record.
That year, Milwaukee lost to the Cardinals in the World Series, but Molitor hit a dandy .355. And these days, with a better than .400 average during the streak, Molly's been swinging ever so sweetly still. On to Boston, where the sweet sounds of victory have changed tempo. Last year's pennant-winning Red Sox are mired in 5th place, still under .500. What to do about it? Well, figuring to improve matters, the Sox revamped their veteran team with a cast of rookies, a move they hoped would bring a change of direction.
I don't think that we're pushing them out of their position. I feel that we're working with them, and, you know, they're people who we respect a great deal. And
he may be playing himself into Rich Gedman's position if he keeps this up.
You're never too good in that category, I think. You just have to keep working hard every day.
Todd Benzinger has played that left field carom like Carl Yastrzemski today.
It's a good feeling to know that, you know, I've showed him I can hit all the pitches.
Well hit ball to right field. Gone. Goodbye, baseball.
I just go up there every day and just check the lineup. If my name's in there, I'm ready to go. You know, I'm just ready to play every day.
Long run for Burks. Right at the wall, he makes the catch. Running like the wind.
Seems the changeover has improved the picture in Boston considerably. For example, Mike Greenwell was most impressive in earlier stints with the team, but this year he's hitting .330 and finally getting regular work since Jim Rice has been in and out of the lineup.
When Jimmy did get hurt, it gave me an opportunity to play 6 or 7 days in a row, and it gave me an opportunity to show him that I could hit in the big leagues. I've really had to work my way in. It's taken me almost 2 years to get to this point, and you know, if I can keep my average up and keep hitting the ball away, I'm sure I'm going to end up there every day.
And a wish come true for Boston's dashing rookie center fielder, Ellis Burks, who got his long-awaited call in April.
You know, I got called up on April 29th, and that was a pretty big shock for me. I was out getting movies at the video store, and I got the word. And this year has been a great success for me, I think. I think it's just a matter of, you know, concentrating a little harder at the plate, being a little more disciplined. You know, it's helped me out a lot.
As for his freshman report card, 18 homers and 50 RBIs, all from the leadoff spot. Smashing numbers, too, from rookie Sam Horn, who crashed 6 homers in his first 16 games.
Well, deep drive, you can forget about this. They can talk about this one downtown. Way out of here, touch them all, Sam Horn.
All I try to do every day is hit the ball hard. I really don't care where it goes. I try to follow the ball all the way in to the point where, you know, I'm keeping my head down on the ball, trying to explode into the ball and come up.
While Horn's been truly explosive at the plate, freshman catcher John Marzano's been truly valuable behind it. A fine compliment to the fielding of Todd Benzinger. So, from something old to something new, Boston's not nearly as blue.
I think the future of the Red Sox is very bright with all the young guys, and our pitching staff is still very young with Roger, Bruce, and Orcan. I think that it's a young ball club, and maybe we can grow together and hopefully get another World Series and win one.
Ah, the fire of youth. And now, let's open the notebook for This Week in Baseball's TWIB notes from around the majors. Oakland rookie Mark McGwire made history with this home run in a game against the California Angels.
And that one may be it, way back, and there's your record. Mark McGwire puts the A's in front with his Major League rookie record 39th home run.
Utility infielder Tom Lawless of the Cardinals hasn't exactly been in the swing. In fact, until this hit against Pittsburgh, he was the only non-pitcher on a Major League roster from opening day who didn't have one. But Lawless's hit didn't stop St. Louis from suffering its first shutout since last season. 145 games, to be exact. And now, this week's quiz brought to you by the 1988 Chevy full-size pickup. From the heartbeat of America, today's Chevy trucks. Howard Johnson has combined with teammate Darryl Strawberry to give the Mets 2 players with at least 20 homers and 20 steals apiece. In fact, they're both on a pace to reach 30-30. But right now, can you name the last team to boast a pair of 20-20 players? Think Crimson and Clover, over and over. National League Revival. The Padres prosper with a pair of swingers. Showing ample signs of a turnaround, Larry Bowa and company are back in Padre good graces. John Kruk deserves much of the credit. As a rookie, he hit .309. That was last year, and this year he ranks 3rd best in the league with a .336 average. As for teammate and hitter extraordinaire Tony Gwynn, credit him with the league-leading .368 average, en route to his 2nd batting title. Gwynn and Kruk have sparked the Padres to the best record in the West since the All-Star break. A turnaround Gwynn felt was coming all along.
We want to win, you know, and we make no bones about it. We've got some guys who can play. We're a young club. We're inexperienced now, and you know, we've got to go out there and we can't make mistakes. We've got to play fundamentally sound baseball every game in order to win. I'm kind of a leader by example. You know, I work hard every day, and I try to play the game the way it's supposed to be played. But, you know, I don't like to talk about it too much. You know, I'm not a rah-rah type of guy who says, you know, you got to do this, you got to do that. I just go out there and play the game.
An honest appraisal from the 4-time All-Star who offers still more candor when asked if he can hit 400.
No, I can't do it. You know, I can only be me. I don't think I'm a patient enough hitter right now, and you get so many at-bats if you want to play every day, and I want to play every day. And, you know, I figure you got to get about 250 hits, walk 100 times, and you still might be short, you know. And so I don't worry about it. You know, I just go out and have fun, play the game, you know, hope our sides win. But, you know, if come September and you're hitting about 385, 390, you know, of course you want to make a good run at it, but I'm very surprised to be hitting as high as I am right now. I never thought halfway point I'd be hitting 370, but you know, I'm not going to cry about it. I'm happy about it, but, you know, I can't worry about 400 right now.
The Padres had reason to worry this spring when they lost 42 of their first 54 games. But since then, 8 games above 500 and earning due respect. Now for a Superman who has the divine quality of being everywhere at once. When the Cardinals' Jose Oquendo pitched in a game against the Phillies, it was his 8th position this year. Of course, Oquendo doesn't always rotate from one to the next. This Superman has the power to play all 8 at one time. In fact, one time he did. The rest of the team sat in the dugout, and Oquendo played the Phillies all by himself. That's not entirely true. He didn't catch. Still, he did play all 8 positions, and not only that, he won. Don't believe it? Watch an inning.
Jose Oquendo, the secret weapon, now hurling for the Redbird. Into right field, Oquendo. One gone.
Oquendo throws him out. What a play by Oquendo. And the pitch is lined into left field. Here comes Oquendo, and he's got it.
Jose now has played every position except catcher.
And he'll do that before the year's over.
And now, folks, let's toss it to Warner Fussell, who today discusses the diamond green and the silver screen.
It's showtime. Time for the first annual Fussell File Summertime Movie Reviews. Mel, lights, camera,
action.
Hollywood Shuffle.
Hollywood Shuffle is the saga of the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's written and directed by and stars the hero of many a spaghetti western. An uneven film full of holes. Give it 1 star. That's Pedro Guerrero, for whom it's rated PG.
The Squeeze.
The Squeeze is a laid-back comedy suspense thriller in which the main characters stumble on a murder. It's a suicide squeeze with excessive violence, adults only.
Jaws, The Revenge.
Jaws, a summer sequel. Just when you thought it was safe to go back to Baltimore, the great white shark strikes, and this time it's personal.
Platoon.
In Platoon, the Yanks bomb away as General George Steinbrenner shuttles in a cast of thousands. The plot thickens in this epic battle over who wears the stripes.
Inner Space.
In Inner Space, suspense builds as lightning strikes. The Dome Warriors of Minnesota's Homer Dome improve on last summer's popular Thunderdome. The characters are great, and the directorial debut of Tom Kelly makes this twin feature a smash hit.
The Living Daylights.
The Living Daylights is a box office hit that stars the new 007, super suave Andre Dawson. In this episode, Andre and company go on the trail of a scheming arms dealer. It doesn't look good for 007, but his fan appeal remains strong, making him the ultimate matinee idol. Finally, the top motion picture of the summer of '87. For a good look at the young stars, a special trip on location in New York. This teenage comedy has proved to be a real sleeper, despite a bad rap.
When I'm running on the play and make space, I run, I slide, and then I'm safe.
There's never a dull moment, Mel, in this topsy-turvy, haywire thriller.
Adventures in Babysitting.
A crowd pleaser and must-see, but the ending cannot be revealed. Soundtrack by the Strawberry Alarm Clock, available on Dolby, Darrell and Davy Records and Tapes. Adventures in Babysitting. Mel, I give it 4 trash baskets.
Now playing at your neighborhood ballpark. Rated. Now let's check out the answer to this week's quiz. In 1963, Frank Robinson combined with Cincinnati teammate Beta Pinson to give the Reds a dandy combo of power and speed. For Pinson, 22 homers and 27 steals. And that, combined with 21 homers and 26 steals for Robinson, made the 63 Reds the last team before this year's Mets to boast 2 2020 players. It's the advent of a new age of peace and understanding, according to the calendars of ancient civilization. Cosmic harmony is flowing to all parts of the universe, ballparks included. Only instead of harmonic convergence, we're getting harmonic divergence. I know the idea of this whole thing is to forestall catastrophic events, but something tells me this collective spirit is having a reverse effect at the ballpark.
Ground ball hard. Garner kicks it. He had a play at the plate and let it get away. Or did he touch home? Scioscia's going to chase him and tag him out. Uribe never got on home plate, and Scioscia was going to chase him to the dugout.
These cosmic vibes are also having a strange and mystical effect in Toronto.
There goes Mosby. Picked a good pitch to go on. Terrible throw. Mosby doesn't know where the throw is. He's going back to first base. Is he going to steal first? He steals first. Now he's going to steal second again. I've never seen it before. Where's Evan Costello when you need him?
No need for comic interpretation here. Cosmic energy has already done quite enough. Now, let us re-enter the material world. Auditioning for great plays? Move over, Pooch. Time for major leaguers to strut their stuff. First, Frank White, Royals. Tom Brunansky, Twins. Kelly Gruber, Blue Jays. Cincinnati's Barry Larkin. Marty Barrett, Red Sox. Hey, no dogs allowed. Nice grab, doggone it. Mitch Webster, Expos. Billy Ripken, Baltimore. San Francisco's Mike Aldrete, easy does it. Cleveland's Tommy Hinzo to Pat Tabler. Ken Caminiti, Astros. Ken Williams, White Sox. Not one, but two for the Pooch. Chris Gwynn, Dodgers. Detroit's Tim Holman. Tiger teammate Lou Whitaker. Gary Templeton, San Diego. Dodger Mike Scioscia to Mickey Hatcher. And from the foot of Boston's Roger Clemens to the glove of Spike Owen. How about that for man and his best friend? Time now for This Week in Baseball's Flashback, brought to you by Gatorade. Thirst aid for that deep down body thirst. The 1971 World Series is tied 3-3. The last chance for Baltimore and Pittsburgh as 15-game winner Steve Blass looks to wrap up the championship for the Pirates.
Pitching in the big leagues is one level, and then pitching in the World Series is another, and now it comes down to the 7th game of the World Series. That is tough to block out.
Blass beat the Orioles in Game 3 on a 3-hitter. Now, early in Game 7, he's grappling with a bad case of the jitters.
He missed again. A leadoff walk to Buechler.
I was all over the place because I wasn't locked in at all. Everything was registering, everything was occurring, and you can't really be too effective. But that's when Earl Weaver tried his psychological ploy and come out and said, Rule 801.
801. Rule 801 says he's got to pitch from in front, on the rubber in front, and not on the side. This is a lot of tricky stuff. This isn't about to stop, but he's got to come to a stop. So he's pitching from the side of the rubber. He's got to pitch from in front of the rubber. We know that. Well, I'm also about to stop. You don't stop either.
I think that just got me distracted enough and concentrated on him, so I forgot all about the other stuff, or at least it cleared my head out a little bit. And, of course, I was still so fired up. If they just said, Rule 801, you got to pitch from second base, I'd have probably walked back there and tried to crank it up. But it did act as kind of a reverse, I think, of what his intentions were on it.
Indeed. Overcoming the jitters, Blass went on to 4-hit the Orioles. Though cool and collected, he never really lost sight of the occasion. In fact, before coming out to pitch the 7th inning, he wanted to savor the moment.
I'm just going to walk off the back of the mound, which I did, and I just took the ball and was pretending to rub it up. I just took it all in, about 360 degrees, and I said, I don't know if I'll ever be involved with anything like this the rest of my life. So I'm going to get the visual picture. I'm going to get a mental image that I'm going to carry with me till I'm about only 90 years old. And just take it all in, because don't know what's going to happen the next 3 innings. Don't know if I'll ever be here again, but it's there, and I just want to make sure I have that.
With a 2-1 lead in the 9th, Blass was also making sure this story ended happily for Pittsburgh.
2 down.
You know, when you're 8 years old and you play those games in the backyard, you always practice. Here's how I'm going to do it after the last out of the 7th game in the World Series. And this one, I'm going to jump through the sky, or I'm going to lay down on the mound. You practice all this neat stuff, and then you go crazy and forget everything.
There's a drive up the middle. Hernandez in back of the bag. He's got him, Jackie Hernandez. Look at Blass. Blass has hit the Pirates to the World Championship.
Nothing can make you feel any better than that. That is unbelievable. It's the greatest sensation I've ever had in my life.
2 years later, Blass unaccountably couldn't find the plate. His career was over, and by 1974, Blass was gone from the game. That's all for now, folks. See you next week on This Week in Baseball.
Here's this week's Rolaids Relief Man update. In the National League, the Phillies' Steve Bedrosian leads the league, followed by Lee Smith and John Franco. In the American League, it's the Yankees' Dave Righetti, followed by Jeff Reardon and Tom Henke.